Alright guys, what's going on? Second Blank here. How you doing? It's been such a long time since I've actually seen you guys. Oh my god, all your bright shining faces. Oh man, I have not done one of these commentary thingamabobbers in a long ass time, and I do apologize for that. Man, I've been so caught up in so much PC gaming that I have neglected you guys. I've neglected you guys. I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't. You guys need to remind me every once in a while. I go, hey, Second Blank, you gotta like do a commentary for us, man. We're dying here. There's too much Dungeon Defenders going on. It's getting crazy. I don't know what the fuck's going on. What the fuck is Sen? And why is she wearing that skimpy ass armor thing going on? Oh, fuck it. I'll get back to that later. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys some military style gameplay. Because why the fuck not, right? And the reason why I'm showing you different types of gameplay actually is going to be one Call of Duty, one Battlefield 3, is because a topic that I want to talk about for the longest time, I think has been somewhat quote-unquote discussed. It has not certainly been discussed in my channel. It's been passively talked about in the channel, but not something that I've directly addressed. And I wanted to do that. I figure whether or not my opinions actually are valid enough for you guys, I think having my 2 cents thrown into this argument would be something that I think you guys can appreciate. Maybe you guys will have some differing opinions of your own, and you can probably tell me about them in the comments below or in the inboxes. Something along the lines that will let me understand what you guys think in terms of Call of Duty and Battlefield. So I want to hop right to it real quick here. So I am both a player of Battlefield franchise and Call of Duty franchise. In fact, I actually started off in the Call of Duty franchise, starting with Modern Warfare 2. That's where I started. That's where my cousin actually introduced me to Call of Duty, was through Modern Warfare 2. I played that game for the first time. I was very excited to play. I was like, oh my god, why don't I have this game now? I was heavy into, I guess, like Nintendo or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but I remember having some sort of system that wasn't really up to date, and I figured, you know what, might as well update myself into a new system. So I got out PlayStation 3. First game bought was Modern Warfare 2 and played that shit for like as long as I can remember. I mean, up until I guess Black Ops came out. So I up until Black Ops is actually when I actually stopped playing the Call of Duty franchise and leaned towards more to the Battlefield franchise, which actually my best friend Shenanigan X introduced me to, starting with Bad Company 2. And I thought, man, this is really different from Call of Duty. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm so confused. What am I supposed to be doing here? Objectives? What the fuck's that? I don't understand. And I guess I was like the average Call of Duty player, like, oh, why can't I just kill people and just win the game? How come my kill death didn't affect the game at all? And then I soon realized that, you know what? Maybe that's not what it's all cracked up to be. And I figure, you know what? Since they are, even though they are very similar games, they are very much different. I don't understand what it takes in order to figure out what I lean towards more, being a Call of Duty player or being a Battlefield 3 player. It's really hard to understand where I lay. So I figure I will help you guys figure out what exactly it is that you prefer more, and kind of break down each franchise, and then from there you can sort of understand where you like to play and what kind of game style you'd like to play, and then maybe later in life will help you out when it comes to like maybe having fun. You're like, okay, I'm definitely a Call of Duty player, or I'm definitely a Battlefield player. Okay, I think that would be a fair argument to say, right? All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So first off, with Call of Duty, we got a certain amount of things going on with that, right? We got Activision basically supporting, I think, up to 2, maybe 3 game developers at the same time. I think it's Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and I think Sledgehammer. I don't remember the names exactly, but I think it's along the lines of that. And as far as I can see, really, they've been switching every year with the developers, going, okay, you handle this year, you handle the next year, then you handle the year afterwards, right? So you handle every other year a new Call of Duty, right? So they're going with the annual basis of releasing a new Call of Duty every year, and they alternate between the developers. And I see how Activision can think with that kind of model, because they know for a fact that Call of Duty players will actively buy the next new and latest and greatest game, right? That's what they do. It's nothing you can say about that. You can be like a passive Call of Duty player, but you still buy a new Call of Duty just because it's new, and that's what it is, right? And I see how people, and I understand the business aspect of that, but I think with the consumer aspect with that, at least the problem in that sense is that, well, even though there is a new game, you have to make sure that your game is one-upping the last year's game, and it has to keep going, doing something new, better and greater every year. And it's kind of like, you know what, there's only like maybe one thing that's kind of different from the other, and why not just play last year's game? That's that's what the argument that maybe some Call of Duty players would actually say. Like, why can't we just play last year's games? But it's basically the same game, except you just added one more thing. And I think that they face that kind of problem. At least Activision faces that problem every year, is to have something new in order to entertain the Call of Duty folks. Go and make sure that you are the one that's going to get their game when it comes to first-person shooters, no matter what. That's what they should be actively doing. And every year model, you're gonna face that kind of problem. And I think with Electronic Arts model, which is I think is every 2 years or so. I don't exactly recall, but I think they're following that kind of basis, because as far as I can remember, they already announced Battlefield 4. And I think it's gonna come out like next year or the year after. I don't remember really, but it's been about from what I see, it's about 2 years difference in between their Battlefield games. I think that model is a little bit better, based upon just seeing the big difference between Battlefield 2 or Battlefield Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3. You start to see huge graphical difference, huge engine-wise difference, huge physics difference. They're adding in like different game mechanics, all that good stuff, and you start to see like, you know what, this is really perfect. This is a really good fine-tuned game. But the problem with that is, in between those 2 years, they're playing Call of Duty, and Call of Duty is like entertaining their fans, year after year, making sure that their fans stay within that. And Battlefield doesn't really have much going for it other than, oh yeah, this game does good. You don't have to go to Call of Duty, but then the COD's like, well, you're not releasing new stuff anyway, so why the fuck do we need to stay in this game when we can go to another game, right? And I guess I'm treating these two games as like clubs, so like you have to join one club or the other. But that's basically what the problem that Battlefield's facing. That as much as the game is really nice and all that, there's nothing new that's basically keeping the fans rooted onto the ground with their franchise. You need to dangle like shiny keys to a baby to make sure they stay entertained. That's kind of what like Battlefield's really lacking there. And I think maybe it's a good thing they're not like that, but they're also facing that same kind of problem. So you already know that you're experiencing some different companies doing first-person shooters, and you're like, okay, well, they're not really already in the even playing field. You're kind of like distorted here. You can't really make a comparison between the two, especially when it comes to fun factor, because they don't even do the same thing every year. One's doing one thing, the other company's doing the other thing. I don't know. I don't understand. But maybe if you judge it from the outside, it's not really a good thing, right? You also want to base the games and the fun factor, what's actually in the game. So let's go ahead into that a little bit. So, with Call of Duty, you got a fast-paced gameplay with, perks, kill streaks, some you command, some you can just passively use, every once in a while in the Battlefield, Battlefield. I think that's a good choice of words when it comes to Battlefield. And, basically, you're always dealing with, close quarters, fast gunplay. So you always see explosions, bullets passing you by, all this crazy stuff going on, and no matter what, the game's gonna end pretty quickly when it comes to that kind of model. So basically, you always have to make sure that you have the latest and greatest kill streaks, right? So you gotta make sure you got the ones that could do the most heavy amount of damage to the opponent team, and making sure that you are the one that basically throws that out first. Because if your opponents manage to actually get their higher kill streaks onto you, you're basically in big trouble, because for the most part, winning a game in Call of Duty requires for you having the highest KD possible there. If you can man your highest kill streaks and trap your opponents in their spawns, you can basically win any kind of game, whether it's team deathmatch, domination, capture the flag, any of those game mechanics. You can basically win by having the highest KD. It's kind of really awkward to believe that, because you figure, but they're objectives. How can you just win with kills? In terms of, for example, Modern Warfare 2, if you got a Harrier out and you're trapping your opponents in the spawn, and a chopper gunner comes out, you trapping them again, nuke comes out, you're already ending the game. Like, what the fuck? Oh no, this can't be good. So you're already in a horrible disadvantage, because you're trying to fight. You're not only getting you out of the spawn, but making sure you're down your opponent's kill streaks from in the air, and making sure you can get the fuck out of there. And it's kind of hard. So with that, you have to understand that Call of Duty is heavily based on KD. The community loves KD. The higher the KD, the better, right? That makes you the best player. That defines you as the greatest player of all time. You can argue all you want about saying, oh no, it's definitely about strategy and team-based, but honestly, what do you hear about the most over there? What's your KD? Quick scopes, no scopes, you know, all this crazy stuff. And like, what? I don't understand. What happened to skill and gameplay? You know, I throw out a lot of UAVs out there, you know, in my time, and no one rewards me like, oh hey bro, thanks for the UAV. No, it's like, hey, did you guys see my fucking chopper gunner destroying all that shit? Yeah, huh, that's fucking psych. Like, I was like, what? But you wouldn't have gotten that if I didn't show you on the map all those opponents that you could be killing in order to get to your kill streaks. I mean, what the fuck happened, bro? So, you're not rewarded really with your team by having like the support kill streaks. You're more along the lines of being praised for your like highest KD, and to me that's very boring. I don't see any fun into that, and it's for that kind of reason why I kind of left. You know, I find myself as being a support player, and I at that point before Modern Warfare 3, before Battlefield 3, I was stuck in Black Ops being the supporting character in my team and going, you know what? As much as I love to help you guys don't really do much in order to make me feel welcome here, you know? It's kind of like, oh, you fucking UAV noob, what the fuck, you know, you can't, you know, get your kills by yourself, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what, I'm done with this. And I actually stopped playing, not Battlefield, I stopped playing Call of Duty Black Ops for a while. I'm like, you know what, I need to find something new. And then when I heard that Battlefield 3 came out, I'm like, oh man, I know what Battlefield 3 is all about. You know, I played Bad Company 2, and I saw how slow paced and how supportive, you know, the community is like over there. I think I'm gonna play that. So I played Battlefield 3, and I quickly found out that their maps are it's about as big as the Bad Company 2 maps are like, but they're actually in a bigger scale. So you're basically dealing with big long games. You have to make sure you got, you know, cross like freaking miles in their maps in order to get to the actual gunfights. And you're actually dealing with a good amount of realism in the game, because when you see destructible environments, when you're seeing suppression penalties with your not landing your bullets, you start to see like, oh man, this is really real. I mean, there's a fucking tank crossing the fucking map, killing everybody. There's a freaking helicopter you can man without a kill streak. Holy shit, that's fucking awesome. I want to do that. Of course, with the air support, I can never do shit with that. With the tank, I'm pretty okay with. But for the most part, you're dealing with, you know, vehicles, you're dealing with your opponents. You actually got to deal with the objective too, which is something else I wanted to mention, is that Battlefield is very heavily objective-based gameplay. You have to make sure you reach your objective, either defending it or attacking it. If you don't do any of which, you're gonna lose, right? So if you have the highest, you know, kill-death ratio within the whole game, that's fucking great. But if you were not helping your team to get to the objective, what's the point? I mean, you kind of quickly start to see, like, you know what, you may be the best, you know, KD player overall, but you suck as a teammate. No one wants to play with that. And you start to quickly see that people like that just kind of lose interest. They're like, you know what, this is nothing like Call of Duty. This game sucks, you know. I lose even though I have the highest kill death ratio. This makes no sense. I'm getting the fuck out of here. And then you start to see within, like, fights within the two communities going, you know what, this is better because they actually help you with stuff. And you hear the other side of the coin going, oh, well, this is better because this is actually faster, blah, blah, blah. So you're like, oh, man, I mean, what the fuck do you lean towards? What's the freaking point when it comes to this? And you have to slowly and kind of realize something here. You can't really compare the two. Both game mechanics don't really match with each other. And then you start to really see that what you're really playing for here, I think I can be very honest with you guys. Within the business aspect, all you're really playing for is what kind of service you like, right? You either like having fast-paced games, close quarters, or long, strategic, objective-based games. And it's very like black and white when I describe these two games, but it's basically what it is. And you can always make the argument going, oh yeah, but you know, Battlefield also has a team deathmatch. And then you could also say, yeah, and Call of Duty has objective gameplay or objective modes. But with Call of Duty and their objective gameplays, what do you really see? You see just chopper gunners, Harriers, you know, air support, or with at least with Modern Warfare 3, it could be like, you know, Juggernaut, Moabs, all that crazy stuff. I'm like, it's not really that fun, you know. Yeah, killing, fucking awesome. Oh, I had the most kills, I win. Woo. Battlefield's like, ah, fuck, I gotta deal with all this crazy shit. A fucking tank, a fucking helicopter, people on the ground. I'm fucked. And then you start to slowly realize that, you know what, killing the most made of, you know, helped me look awesome, but I fucking lost that. That's not fun. Nah, it doesn't work out that way. And I think for the most part, the team deathmatch doesn't work well on Battlefield at all. I think it looks kind of weird, and the objective modes in Call of Duty just looks ridiculous. There's no point even playing it. Really, you just might as well just playing a big old game of team deathmatch. And that's all it is when it comes to Call of Duty, and that's all it really is with Battlefield 3. That's exactly what you're paying for. So basically, guys, overall, you have to understand, you can't hate on the other games for being different than what you're used to. You have to understand that they both do exceptionally well when it comes to their respective games. You know, in terms of the best realistic first-person shooter without kill streaks and destructible environments, fuck, Battlefield 3 takes the cake for sure. I can't imagine any other game that could look more beautiful on PC or almost close to perfect on console. Right, and you're dealing with like really heavily objective-based gameplays that requires you to pretty much act like a team player, and you know, cooperating as a team in order to make sure you win the match. Holy hell, that's fucking awesome. Being friends with people on fucking lobbies. Holy shit, that's fucking awesome, right? You know, they do that pretty well. I think Battlefield does pretty well in terms of that. When it comes to having, like, you know, the best kill streaks, with having like, you know, the most fast-paced close quarters gameplays that requires you to have like the most heavy amount of skill when it comes to either quick scoping, being a sniper, or having like the best guns out there. Hell, Call of Duty, hands down, has the best kind of fun ever. You know, those arcadey, you know, first-person shooter, yeah, but it's fucking awesome. Yeah, I can understand why people love that. And I'll still love that. You know, I still am an avid Call of Duty player, but even though I am as such, I still play Battlefield, and I kind of see more fun into that. But I can still appreciate what Call of Duty has done over the years, and I see what they have laid down. I really come to appreciate how fun it really is and how competitive it can be. But overall, if I really had to pick a game that I found the most fun to be, was Battlefield, and that's the game for me. That's the one that basically broke the mold when it came to first-person shooters, at least in my point of view. Call of Duty will forever stay in that kill-death ratio limbo, and that's fine. You know, that's definitely where all the MLG players would go and, you know, show off their amazing skills and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. If you love Call of Duty, that's awesome. I can see why. If you love Battlefield 3, that's awesome. We should play sometime, right? So in either case, you'll win when it comes to either playing games. It's just making sure that you pick the game that's right for you. You know, based on your perspective, which one sounds more fun to you, right? So in the comments below, please let me know. I want to know what you think. I want to understand what exactly it is that makes you have fun and when it comes to those two types of games, or maybe suggest another game. You know, I don't know what you guys play. You can either be playing the Halo. I sound like a fucking adult when I say that. The Halo. Or the Battlefield, or the Call of Duty. Sounds weird. You know, you could play Halo, you could play Gotham City Imposters, which is another game that I actually want to play. Gotham City Imposters. I actually mumbled when I say that, or I mushmouthed it. Well, one of the two. I did one of the two. But Gotham City Imposters sounds like an awesome game that I've been interested in playing. I wish to have the time and, you know, effort to actually do that, or to actually play that, but it's kind of like maybe one day. But you know, that'd be another game you could suggest, or any other first-person shooters that you basically suggest that you think is the greatest. Go ahead, list them down in the comments below, or tell me in the inbox. I'll listen to them. I'll listen to them. I'll read them. I'll fucking address them as what I think, you know, is right and wrong with that choice. But otherwise, overall, it's up to you which one you like the best. All right. So that's my 2 cents out there. I hope you guys appreciate my comments, my opinions. I hope you guys have one of your own so I can know what you guys like to see in terms of, or at least like to play when it comes to, you know, playing first-person shooters. Otherwise, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you enjoy your day / evening whenever you're watching this. This is Second Blank saying peace out. Later, Gators.